Good afternoon. This is Tom Alexander. It is Sunday, September 25th. It is about 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. I'm going to get into more detail than I got into in the written report this weekend. I've been traveling. I just got in, and I want to get this out before Globex, so I don't have time to write a big report with a lot of charts. We will go through that information in this video. Actually, it's pretty succinct right now. It's one of these rare times where it's relatively binary. It is important to note that the Dow on Friday closed below its June low. Not only did it print below it, but it closed below it. None of the other three primary U.S. trading indices did so, cash markets. I would not bet on that holding. It is a divergence as of the close on Friday, but it looks like beginning on Wednesday, there was acceleration basically into Friday's close, notwithstanding the very late Friday mystery bungee jump that occurs sometimes on Fridays. So we'll see in a few hours, actually, when Globex opens, how real that is. The bottom line on a bearish assumption is that regardless of whether or not we bounce on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, last week's highs are critical. Let me show the charts. Okay, this makes it a little more helpful, right? When you can see the charts. So here's the Dow, and you can see we've closed below the June low. We printed below the June low. We have the gap down in the cash market. You can see the acceleration that began on Wednesday and carried into Friday's low. And then very late in the day, we had the mystery bungee jump bounce. We'll see how real that mystery bungee jump bounce is when the market opens at Globex. But the last week's cash highs, which basically occurred on Wednesday, it occurred on Monday in the Dow maybe, but I think it occurred on Wednesday and all the others. As long as Wednesday's low holds, regardless of any balance that's formed in here, and there could be, I'm going to show you next, the technical situation of the market is really extreme. So I do think time-wise here, we're close to a low. Emphasis on time. This is one of these periods where last Wednesday could have begun just a torrid downside washout, notwithstanding the mystery bounce that we had on Friday. So I would be looking for lower prices immediately, regardless of. And if we don't have follow through immediately, like say Monday or Tuesday, then the level to watch to the upside is last week's high. If all four of the indices close above last week's high, then that opens the door for other possibilities, including quite a robust continued bounce. All right, the technical situation of the market is starting to get very extreme. This is the 10-day moving average of advancing issues. You can see it has closed now. I'll show you. I'll just mark it here as closely as I can. So it closed here. The last time it was this extreme, it hadn't been this extreme all year long this year. Let's just keep going. See the last time. Okay, the last time it got this extreme was February, March of 2020 in this incredible waterfall decline. So could we be doing this again? We could, but if you notice here, you did have furious rallies that began in late February along the way down. So that's what I would look for. Even if we're going to have some sort of waterfall decline that's relentless like we had in February, March of 2020, I still think we're near time-wise a short-term low. Now, we could have another day or two of dramatic selling, but time-wise, this is suggestive that we're close to some sort of bounce, and it could be a violent bounce. 5-day moving average is also, it's not quite as extreme as it got over here, but it's pretty extreme. Breadth was negative 2000, so we're having this cluster of negative 2000 breadth readings again that we've seen in these leg down. Now, I've talked about the relationship between price and breadth in a bull market versus bear market. Once again, the price breadth relationship, that signature of the two, is confirming we're in a bear market. It continues to behave like we are in a bear market. Let's see. Okay, VIX. VIX popped up on Friday, and VIX closed at the highest level it's been since back here and at near the lows in June, actually. However, you can see VIX is still lower than it's been several other times in the decline since the January high, and it can go a whole lot higher than it has gone even at any point in time this year. So we'll be watching VIX closely. If we do get some sort of continued waterfall decline into the early part of next week, VIX is likely to really pop, and it may test the highs of the year or exceed the highs of the year. But you're beginning to see signs of some sort of short-term capitulation-like trade, and we're seeing it in breadth. VIX is spiked up. If it continues to spike up, I would think that by midweek we see at least a short-term low. Okay, I don't think the profile view, this is the weekly profile view. In other words, each one of these profile units is 1/4 of trade. This is so far, this is not exactly a wide range quarter, so you'd be looking for range expansion. There is nothing below present levels that's obvious in terms of potential support. If we split this out, that's interesting. Okay, let me see if I can address that. Bear with me a minute. Guys, hold on. Okay, hopefully I got that resolved. So let's split this out. And you can see now this again, each letter represents a week of trade. So if this, basically what I have done here is create a bar chart, but instead of bars, it's letters in a profile chart. And you can see this is a distribution that began up here a couple of weeks ago. So this is a distribution range. I would expect to see lower follow through. And then what you'll be looking for is another balance area to form in the shorter term time frames. There's no magical message at the moment from a market profile view, other than I would not be at all surprised to see follow through to the downside before we have another attempt at some sort of rally. But based on the technical situation and how that looks, I think it will be soon, just not sure about the price level. Okay, a couple of other markets that we've been talking about, several other markets actually. Copper looks like it wants to trade down and test or take out its July lows. I haven't typically have a covered copper, but copper is actually a great trading contract, and it's very highly correlated with the stock index futures. All right, I do want to talk about these two contracts though. Let's look at gold. I've been talking about gold and pointing out this level for a while, and you can see we've closed below it, and this is a classic auction market / market profile trade. We had a balance area at a major inflection point. We're attempting to break initiatively lower. You have to favor shorts now as long as Friday's low is not taken out. How low gold goes is a guess. but it could go a lot lower. It could actually begin to accelerate lower from here. Now, if that's wrong, the first sign will be if it closes above Friday's high. And in that case, you want to be prepared to go long because you're at a major inflection point. We're breaking lower in an initiative break and an initial signal that it's a false breakout trade, which can be a very powerful trade, would be if we now close above Friday's high in gold. All right, let's talk about crude. Crude is also sort of in the abyss now against Friday's session high. I would favor shorts in crude. Personally, I would favor shorts in crude against Friday's session high. However, if Friday's session high is coming out, that's going to bring the immediate bearish assumption into serious question. So, guys, that's a wrap for this weekend report. For another reason this is short, I'm sure I'll be sending out more updates next week because we're at such critical levels and a critical time frame. It's the fall of the year. Quite often, important intermediate term lows are made between now and the end of October. I will keep you updated. If you found value, please like the video. Please subscribe to the video. Please share the video. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be speaking with you soon.